Hello everyone, welcome to Tea Time. I'm your host Tiffen, and today I'm very well supported because I am with Alexandra and Ilana. How are you today, girls?
Hi, I'm
Hello.
good.
Really good. How are you, Tiffen?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. So today we're diving into an important and deeply personal topic, trans identity, and more specifically, the crucial role of support from loved ones, whether that's families, friends, or partners. Why that support so important? And how, in real and practical ways, can we truly be there for someone who is discovering or affirming their identity? Before we go any further, here's a quick reminder. Every journey is different, every experience is unique, and this episode is an open and respectful discussion where we all share our personal thoughts, feelings, and insights based on information we've read, heard, and reflect on. So we always encourage you to do your own research and questioning yourself about what you heard or something. So just before studying, we had the opportunity to conduct a survey in high schools here in Belgium. We'll be focusing on how teenagers perceive and understand trans identity. The survey is still in processing, but I think it would be interesting to talk about it, and also because the responses were both surprising and enlightening, and we'll be discussing some of those insights throughout the episode. So maybe, Ilana, would you like to tell us more about the survey?
Of course. So far, I think we've interviewed 72 people, or put them through the survey that we made. And the good news is that even though the topic can be confusing or new for some people, 85% of them have already heard about transgender people. And even more importantly, 64% believe and highlight the importance of supporting someone who is transitioning.
Yeah, it's really interesting and good news to hear that. So thank you for those interesting numbers. And maybe would you like to explain the importance of support or just even the importance of respect someone in transitioning?
Yes, of course, Stephen. It's quite hard to explain because it's such a personal experience, but we know that trans people are often more exposed to solitude, discrimination, psychological and physical violence. So when someone is going through that kind of loneliness or exclusion, even a small gesture of support can make a big difference. It can reduce the risk of depression, anxiety, and the deep sense of being alone in your pain. Because there is nothing worse than suffering in silence, feeling invisible every single day. We're all here on this planet for a reason. We all share the same basic need to be seen, to be respected, and accepted as well for who we are. Even if someone's identity or journey doesn't match our personal values, respect must always come first. In our survey, 86% of the students said that they believe that everyone has a right to express themselves. And that is powerful. Because trans people are human beings, just like anyone else. And at the end of the day, isn't the most important thing that we all feel happy, safe, and loved? Especially when you are a family member or a friend. When you love someone, the most important thing you can do is simply be there. Don't let the person you love go through it alone. Just like you feel better when you are going through something and someone checks in. Support can truly change everything.
Yes, thank you, Ilana, for sharing that. It's really sweet and interesting and very, very important to clear it and say it. So I've also noticed that 41% of the teenagers know who to contact if a friend is questioning their gender identity. But besides, 37% don't know. So, Alexandra, can you help them and enlighten those persons about it and what they can do as a family member?
First of all, I would say if you're personally questioning your gender identity, one of the most helpful steps is to speak with a psychologist. talking to someone about your thoughts and feelings can really help you understand yourself better and feel supported. If it's available in your country, maybe try to reach out to a psychiatrist, especially if you're thinking about starting hormone therapy to align with the gender you identify with. Now, for friends, family, and loved ones, your support is the one that actually really, really matters, because even if you don't fully understand what the person is going through, what's most important is to show that you're here, to show up. Let them know they're not alone in this long and sometimes challenging process. Support can look different for everyone, but often I think it starts with open communication, of course. It makes a huge difference. Just saying maybe something like, I'm here for you. Or even admitting that you're confused. I think that's okay too, as long as you stay respectful and open-minded and you don't hurt anyone's feelings. Through this discussion, you can ask how to support them and how you can you do it, because the truth is we don't all need the same things, and it's always better to ask than to assume certain things about someone,
Yes, I agree. I totally agree with you. And personally, I've known transgender people in my life, and I was very young at that time, but I tried to support them by learning little by little what transitioning really means. And even though I didn't fully understand it at first, I tried to show day after day that I care by checking it with them regularly, asking, for example, how their appointments were going, or just being there to listen, to showing my interest, and, for example, ask respectful and adapt questions appropriate to my friends, like how are the hormones going for you, because I know it's really long and complicated. If there is any side effects, like I just try to show my interest. So you don't need to be perfect or to know everything. I think it's just important that you can be curious or kind, and most of all, be present for that person. On the other hand, when you're not really familiar with the topic of trans identity, it's completely normal to feel a bit lost. It's really new, and you might not know what to say or do. So sometimes, without meaning to, we can say things that are hurtful or awkward for the person. But don't worry about that. What really matters is being open to learning and trying to do better. So that leads us to an important question. Can you tell us more, Alexandra, about those common mistakes and how we can avoid them?
Really good question, Tiffany. I think one of the most common mistakes and probably the most hurtful is misgendering someone or using their dead name, which is the name they were given before transitioning. Now, of course, every person is different and how they feel about this can vary. But in general, yes, it can be really painful. That said, if it happens by accident, especially early on in someone's transition, is not the end of the world. What matters is your intent and that you correct yourself quickly or apologize even. That small gesture shows respect and the fact that you actually care about that person. And moreover, please avoid those sentences like, it's just a phase or it's a fashion statement. Maybe, Lana, can you tell us more?
Yeah, even if you don't fully understand what they're going through, take them seriously. Respect their experience, their identity, and their process, because they're the ones that are living it. And they know themselves better than anyone else. And if you want to learn more about the transitions or how to be a better ally, check out the resources we've linked at the end of this episode. We've included lots of helpful info for you there. Another big one, avoid intrusive questions about their body and medical transitions. Questions like, so what exactly did you change? Or can I see the difference? Come on.
No, you cannot.
No, it's like somebody coming up to you in the streets and start asking about the shape of your boobs. Like, leave me alone. It's crazy.
Totally.
So that kind of curiosity crosses much more than just a line. It's about someone's private physical experience, and it is invasive and offensive. Think about it this way. You probably wouldn't want someone to comment or question your body in this way either. If the person wants to talk about their medical journey, they'll bring it up on their own when they are comfortable.
Think before you ask, people. Think before you ask.
Yeah.
Please, please, please.
Totally. Thank you very much, Lana and Alexandra, for those valuable insights and your participation as well. It was really interesting.
You're so welcome.
Yes, it was really nice being here. Thank you.
Thank you, you. So I know that most of the time we don't mean to hurt anyone, but sometimes the word we choose or the way we express things can unintentionally offend. That's why it's so important to stay open-minded or to listen without judgment and keep learning. And honestly, that's one of the main reasons we created this podcast, to offer a safe space to better understand these topics together. So, as I said, thank you very much for listening, for joining us on Tea Time. And so a big thank you as well to all our guests and for sharing your thoughts and experience with us today. So see you on the next episode, and we're going to talk more about the misgendering and a fairly controversial issue, the gender bathrooms and the impact it has on trans and non-binary people in our society. Bye.
Bye.